Here's another old one about one of my favorite subjects, the mountains. Where peace always greets me. I pity those with no love for the mountains, whose heart is never moved by the sight of a snow-covered peak or deep green forest of pine, to whom time spent sitting for hours by a mountain creek is time wasted, who would be bored walking a long trail into the woods, unexcited by the calls of unseen birds, by the sight of deer feeding in a meadow filled with wildflowers, or the distant music of a spring-fed waterfall. I leave them behind in their cities of concrete and noise, with a long drive of 100 miles and the climb of 5,000 feet into the clouds to the cabin where peace always greets me. This one I'm going to dedicate to my nephew RJ, who's a baseball player, and this is called a Red Sox moment. It's the bottom of the ninth with the score tied. At the plate stands Big Poppy with fire in his eyes. A swing of his bat sends the ball sailing high. Like a rocket it shoots swiftly through the sky. The fans are on their feet to watch it soar. As it hits the bleachers, they all begin to roar. This is what they've all been hoping for. A home run by Poppy wins the game once more. And here's one called the Facebook Blues. I dedicated to my niece Nicole, but she's a Facebook user like I am. And this is called the Facebook Blues. I seldom click on like, comment, or share, because most of the time I don't really care. If you found, bejeweled, or whatever, please be gone. Don't look for me on chat because I'm never on. I must admit that my friends are few. I don't add everyone on Facebook like you do. I would never post news of any personal kind. Let the world mind its own business and I'll mind mine. It's not really that I'm antisocial, it's just that I'm not that vocal. But Facebook is where I will stay, just in case the time does come when I do have something to say. Now this one is called, another humorous poem is called, God's Got His Cool Side Too. He likes to kick back and chill. He likes to spend time alone. But we're always on his prayer phone. So I'm just saying, give the Lord a break and take your troubles elsewhere. Give God a minute to relax or at least a moment to spare. It's not easy when you're in charge of running things everywhere. Here's another little one about autumn. It's called Season of Red and Gold and Nights Growing Cold. A few leaves fell today from the maple, spotted with the crimson touch of autumn. The first hint of shorter days and cooler nights to come. The daily paper is advertising Topsfield Fair, while apples ripen to red in nearby orchards, and mums blossom in shades of purple and gold in neighbors' gardens. The day darkens early in the evening, and sweaters and sweatshirts are worn to avoid the chill of a nighttime walk in the bright light of the full harvest moon. Another little one about the old library of my town, which is called the Old Library. It was on the floor above Dutchie's store, which was a general store in our town. Just one room, you had to climb outside the wooden staircase to get in. You had to climb the outside wooden staircase to get in. Depending on what day it was, you could find Mrs. Brown or Mrs. Colby sitting behind the library desk. Talking was not tolerated. Loud voices were silenced by a stern warning and a frown. In the winter, old Frank Witham would wander in from his travels about town to stoke the pot-bellied stove with another log from a nearby stack of wood, say hello, and then be on his way. I spent hours there in my magic kingdom, the world of books and a place for dreamers with big imaginations. And also in 1979, when I was out in California, I stayed for a while in the college town of Berkeley, and I loved it out there. I hope I can go back someday, but I don't know if I'll get there. But this is called about walking the streets of Berkeley holding a white carnation. The flower was my focus point, my path to enlightenment, given to me at the meditation meeting of the college hall. I walked on the sidewalk of Telegraph Ave, past the crafts vendors, the street people, and the college crowd. There's a nervous smile on my face, but there are no strange looks my way. Not here in this hippie haven. Just do your own thing, speak your own mind, city of free thinkers, where the spirit of the 60s lives on. This is called goldfinches. They were there at the feeder every morning from spring to fall when I opened the curtain of my bedroom window. Those little gold beauties with their sweet song, feeding and singing merrily away. Now that I've moved, I no longer have the joy of their company to start my day. Once they returned in a dream to serenade me and remind me that things of beauty may vanish, but are never lost to the heart that loves them. This is along the Mohawk Trail in early April. The white pines give way to a pond full of morning light. A shimmering blue dot of dragonflies skim the shining surface of the water. A lone crow flies through the mist as a solitary bullfrog wakes and croaks a greeting to the rising sun from his drifting lily pad. A man sits on a granite boulder near the water's edge, lost in thought, letting the beauty he hears and sees around him awaken the spirit within to remind him once more of his divine origin. This one is Let My Soul Blossom Like the Night Blooming Jasmine. It's an old poem, one of my favorites though. Let there be no fear in my heart of what is to come when my life is done. Let me be like that one last bird, now perched in the oak tree, lit by rays of the setting sun, who refuses to stop singing until darkness falls completely around him. Let my soul, as it blossoms into being in the next world, be as bright with light as the white petals of the night-blooming jasmine. This is a winter sunset. Winter sunset is best seen over an open field with snow. The horizon is an artist's palette of lavender, crimson, pale pink, and deep gold. Colors that spread across the field below, creating still another dazzle of light on the snow, another gift of beauty to catch your eye and breath before you go. And here's a final one, it's a humorous one. It's based on fact. In my family home in Byfield, we had a barn, and in that barn was a dirt cellar, and in the cellar we had a few pigs. One day those pigs got loose in the town of Byfield. And this is what that poem is about. It's called The Day of the Pig's Evasion. It was Liberation Day for Pig Nation. They ran wild in their Main Street invasion. Nothing could stop the fury of their indignation. They had broken free, much to our consternation. Those runaway pork chops could not be caught. Those hams in the hoof could not be stopped. For hours and hours they eluded the cops. When they made a stop to eat our tomato crop, my mother tried in vain to scare them with a mop. On Main Street, they caused a major traffic jam. But those brazen hams didn't seem to give a damn. They ignored shouts of, "Get out of the way, you spam!" They were fearless and couldn't be scared to scram. It seems that nothing could stop those hams and the lambs. Nothing was off limits to those marauding swine. They knocked down my mother's clothesline, they knocked down my neighbor's grapevine. All over town, they ran through every stop sign. But when the sun started to set in the sky, they bid their day of freedom goodbye. And all at once, they all to its home did fly, back to our barn, in their beds in their lowly sty. Thank you.